Hey everyone, Shawn Smith here with Dedicated Financial GBC in Roseville, Minnesota. Here with my good friend Todd Wainwright, the SVP over at AMUR. Todd, welcome to the vlog. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. It's been a long time in the making. We've had hurricanes, we've had changes, we've had reschedules, but we're here now. So I appreciate you taking the time. And, I'd love first and foremost, I know we see each other on the road seemingly a lot. But for those who don't know you, if you could maybe just jump in right away to your background and just you could kind of roll right into that, how you came to be the SVP over at AMUR.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm originally from Iowa, have an accounting degree from the University of Northern Iowa. And if there's anyone out there that's overly familiar with you and I, it's probably due to Kurt Warner being the Hall of Fame quarterback from there. So out of college, spent my first 13 years working for a national fleet management company offering business to business leasing and finance products. And that career took me from Iowa to Denver to Fort Lauderdale to Philadelphia, where ultimately I was looking for an opportunity to get back to the Midwest, which is how I found AMUR back in 2015. Following that path, I wouldn't have guessed that I would have ended up in Grand Island, Nebraska. But I can tell you now, there's no place else I'd rather be.
Home of the State Fair, Nebraska, as I learned.
Yeah, been here.
And I have been there. I kind of wear that as a badge of honor, to be honest with you. And even when we're at associations or I'm talking about AMUR, I'm like, hey, I've been to Grand Island, man. I was at the opening celebration of the new office. It was super cool too. Which again, thank you for the invite to that. That was I love the concept of what AMUR is doing and how much it believes in grassroots, Main Street America, funding small business all over the nation, and the symbolism of resurrecting its home office there in Grand Island, both literally in what it does for Grand Island, but figuratively in what its targeted aim at serving is, right? It is really on brand for everything that AMUR believes. So that's great. And on that note, again, I happen to know probably maybe more than your average bear about AMUR. I'm proud of the fact I feel like I can say the name correctly, as I hear people tend to struggle a bit with that one. It was really solved for me, though, when someone said, a cow is AMUR. And then I say, oh, AMUR. Okay, I can say that. So that's helped me. If anybody wants a quick and easy tip to say the name correctly. But, as far as AMUR goes, obviously you guys are on a tear, just press release after press release, growth after growth. But maybe if you could just shed some light on the background of AMUR and what gets us to here, what's the history?
I mean, I think you did a good job already. What else is there for me to say?
Nah.
No, but you're absolutely right. So founded over 25 years ago. We were last ranked as the third largest independently owned equipment finance company. And I mean, to put it frankly, we're just on an ongoing quest to simply be the best equipment finance company serving small businesses, which we feel will ultimately lead us becoming the largest. If you visit our website, you'll see our mantra is bold and big on the top, which is simply, we're big on small. And that can mean a variety of different things, but it correlates to not only our passion for helping small businesses succeed, but also our passion, as you kind of alluded to, or for each small community that we're in. For instance, our headquarters here in Grand Island, Nebraska, population of around 50,000, of which nearly half of our 300 employees reside and work in our headquarters here. Our core offering is equipment finance. And as a generalist, we certainly serve the vast majority of industries and customer types. And kind of just more about, the company. It's funny, like when asked about the company, rather than get into the products and, the things that everyone in our industry knows, the various financing products and ways we can help, to me, it really comes down to two things that I end up talking about, which is more our people and our partners, which, again, I think you having visited here, you kind of seen our commitment to that. Our people really define who we are as a company. and really couldn't imagine a better group of individuals that are committed to doing the necessary things on a daily basis to really take care of our customers, right? Provide that level of customer service to our end users, to our vendors, our brokers, and all of our partners.
I think anyone that knows more, especially in the trade associations or that maybe works directly with you now, knows the amount of effort you put into your partners. I mean, I can speak to as a third party vendor and specifically tied to the amount of energy that you and some other key players at AMUR have put into our relationship and being intentional and caring about relationships and no one's a number, no one's just a tool. And I say this to people all the time, and I'll say it publicly. I remember coming down to Grand Island, we send out a plaque every year of the number of kids that our partners have helped us feed and working together. And to go into your main boardroom and to see the awards that AMUR has won and that normal kind of stuff you'd see up on the wall, but to see that from dedicated was prominently displayed there as well. It meant the world to me. It made me feel like I was important. What we were doing together is important, even though we're one little small piece and, whatever. It just shows that appreciation and that caring to all the relationships, regardless whether it's vendor, broker, partner, team member, you name it, right? And I've never experienced anything different than that from a multitude of people that I've interacted with at AMUR. And I think sometimes that's almost surprising because I hate to say this, but it's kind of abnormal and it shouldn't be. And I think with people with dedicated, almost think like on the surface, like sure, portfolio management company that gives back and cares. And I think it's taken years for the market to actually believe, oh wait, no, we do bleed everything that we talk about. And I almost kind of went through that same thing with AMUR of getting to know the company at first and then really realizing, oh, wait, no, this ethos bleeds through the entire team. So, and on that note, from your perspective, look, you guys are making some big moves. Like you said, number 3 now, I believe what you're doing and the plans you guys have in place, at least that I've heard of, will take you to number 1. And what though is exciting? What's going on? Is the most exciting things? What's new? What's on the horizon? What would you, if you were asked, I had the multitudes to tell people what's the most exciting things going on or coming up right now?
Yeah, so there's a lot on the horizon, not the least of which is continuing to look for and expand on our talent. And thank you for all the things you said about several of our employees, and that's who our folks are. So we're constantly looking to grow that team. Our IT team is going to continuously be coming out with different things that are just going to make it easier to do business with us as well.
Well, and if people aren't getting out to industry events like NEFA, like ELFA, like AACFB, all the places that, I know AMUR gets out there and meeting the team, right? Maybe we all can't get to Grand Island, but, I strongly recommend people get out there, meet with the team, sit down, Todd, with you and your team, and really see what those differences are. And so much of that is in the people and how you're treated. And, just in doing things like your, you do the thing at the end of the year where you take folks out to golf and have them down into town and, things like that. Like that's just not something that, the multitudes are doing to show their appreciation for their broker partners and things like that. Right. I always love to end on a high note and a fun one and something that's a little quirky. And I think a lot of my folks probably do know you because we do run a lot of the same circles. But for folks who don't, or maybe people who know you from conference, what might be one thing that most people wouldn't know about you who feel they know you or met you?
You mean other than I used to have a full head of hair?
Other than that.
Other than that, okay. One thing that several that would know me would know this, but for those that don't, one of the things that I'm super proud of is having had the privilege of serving as the president of the Central Nebraska Humane Society for the past several years. It's a local organization, obviously, and one that I'm just happy that I support on a personal level, and then as a company, more supports on a corporate-wide level. So again, going back to kind of who we are as a company, any of the organizations that our folks are involved in, we try to give back at the corporate level as well. But yeah, it's a great organization.
Yeah, I think that that's cool that not only are you investing your time, I'm very passionate about what we can do when we turn our focus to helping others. But the fact that, that's something a dedicated does as well. We love to partner with our team. One of our partners is American Gold Star Mothers, which helps people who've lost someone in combat and veterans. And that comes from one of our team members, Joe Costello, who heads up our equipment finance side, losing his best friend in Afghanistan. And it being just that organization being paramount to his friend's mother's just kind of recovery and her getting involved. And he said, hey, I'd love to find a way to give back. And I was like, well, hey, you're heading up this division. We don't have a give back to it, right? So the fact that AMUR backs it up makes me just so proud to do business with AMUR, to know you and what you're doing. And that's the type of business I want to do business with. I think it is actually a competitive advantage too for businesses to feel like, hey, these businesses are using their platform as a way to give back, serve others. And so, thank you guys for supporting. You guys are always sponsors. You guys always attend. There's never even been a question. We'll be there, and just appreciate you and your team. And I could list off people's names that on your team that I appreciate. It'd be a popularity contest. I won't do that, but you guys know who you are as well. And I think anyone who's been, connected to the team and worked with the team would have that same feeling. So thank you for taking the time for being on, Todd, for highlighting your background in AMUR. And I hope that more people continue to work with you guys, and you guys continue to have a big impact, in small business. And, I'll just be looking for when, AMUR UK breaks out, or AMUR Australia takes over the world,
There you go. No, certainly appreciate it. Appreciate your time and everything you do for, like all the organizations that you support as well. It's not lost on me real quick that, we really met at the ELFA, and when you kind of did a, 30-second elevator speech on what you do and to give back to your community, and our organizations align, I think, very deeply in that. So it's been a great partnership, and it's going to be a long ongoing one. So again, thank you.
Yeah, we sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, that's if we can do good as a company and as people by doing good, it becomes less work and becomes more just how I want to spend my time, is to do good by doing good. And I think look, what you put in the ground is what grows. There's a reason AMUR is growing the way it is. It's putting good stuff in the ground. And when you put that good stuff in the ground, that's what grows. And that takes putting your money where your mouth is. That takes taking the time and things like that. So appreciate you as a partner, genuinely. And I'm excited to see what we can do together. Hopefully, we're not needed too much in the upcoming future, but we're there if needed. And, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for everyone who tunes in, who likes, shares, comments, and just participates in this. It's just been such an overwhelming reaction of, Todd and I were just down in Orlando for the ELFA annual, and, Todd, I know you ran into this, but, people come up to you and they talk about their interaction or how they see you, or whether it's connecting with your team or social media or whatever that is. And it's just nice to know you're doing good things. You're having a positive impact. You're being a good partner with other people. So appreciate everyone out there. And thank you for tuning in. Todd, thanks again for being on the show. And as always, God bless.